Hi, I'm Greg Winters. I teach ESOL. I have 7th and 8th graders at Brook Elementary Middle School. We have been as a team in person since October 5th. I already see you looking. Eileen might be dropping in. I have the sound if you hear her, okay? To drop in with us. If you'll get the handouts ready, guys, that I left on your desk today. And let me pull up our work so we can get ready to share that with everybody, including our virtual scholars. I need to share my Zoom screen. I'll share screen 2, put on my sound, go ahead and share. All right, there we go. Hopefully this makes it now. If everything's working properly today, we should be good to present here, and Eileen would be able to be part of that over as well. The ESOL team and the district team came in and measured out the distancing for social distancing for the desks, and made sure that they marked off the areas and put the desks apart. For my room has 12 desks, and they put up the trifold plexi, kind of barriers, and set up all those things for us. I'm very lucky to be in a 21st century building, so I have to acknowledge that because I know everybody's not in that situation, but many people do have the boards that I used to have where you could project, or Promethean. We do have the projector boards here, HDMI to my laptop computer. I do bring in my personal laptop computer. I'm just accustomed to working on that anyway, but it's been really a good asset because then I use the work computer as the second computer. It is in the back part of the room where I have it set up on a charging stand that is on wheels that we can rotate left and right to allow for a Zoom room, drop in for my other students to come in. And so I usually have that at both ends of the room at this point now with the Zoom to try to accommodate. So I've tried in different ways incorporating the separate virtual students when they're in the virtual world through just coming into the work, my personal laptop here on my desk and turning it, but that between trying to shift sometimes to perhaps a video on Discovery or go to the PowerPoint or move to a different slide in the sharing and having them there has made it difficult. So I found the addition of using the work computer and opening my Zoom room in 2 places, both in the back and the front of the room, has been super helpful. The lessons would be projected on the screen, then I would be able to see the kids on the second screen, which is amazing. So if you have an opportunity, I would try to work out 2 screens if possible, because that's been a lifesaver, to see the kids on Zoom and then see the actual lesson separate. And we also have the HDMI plug allows for sounds through our speakers in our classroom here in the ceiling, which makes it very interactive. We also have a cart that is on wheels that is part of our classroom for when I came to the school and was assigned this room. And I purchased a Bluetooth keyboard, which I use, at home as well. Makes life a lot easier. Then I can actually have more of a mobile setup when I am presenting to them. It allows me to interact with my computer, of course, and change slides or move on to a different program without having to physically always move back and forth in the room. The biggest challenge still that I cannot solve is the sound, and is kind of the reverberating echo sound that will occur both in the room and in the virtual world for them, because they get that feedback and they're not sure what's going on. And I think it's because I do have it hooked up to the HDMI through the speakers in the ceiling here. And then when another student unmutes in the classroom, when a student unmutes, that's when it happens, right? So I have to come over and usually mute my screen here and make sure that the sound is not coming from my computer, and then that solves the problem. But it creates a slightly different problem for me because then I can't always hear the student as well. We do have the masks, and they are shy at times learning the English language, so they speak very softly. I'm going to figure out how to solve that problem. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to try. I think the keyboard, I found that there is a spot where I can also mute from here, so maybe if I just walk around with a keyboard as if I were a musician or somebody, then I could, then I could probably do it that way. That could solve it, but I find that to be minor, and I've talked to the teachers in the virtual world enough to know to please give us an extra heartbeat of a minute. We need that moment for me to run over, mute it. It's a little bit of a physical kind of thing, but it's good for your steps if you're keeping those on your watch. That's been one of the struggles. I guess one of the benefits, though, on the other side is I still love paper. I loved today that I was able to give them the handouts that are based on the slides that we're working on today and the screen, where they can still physically write and we can make adjustments, and it's easier to still go there and give them feedback that way. These items will still be on their Google Classroom. And so that sometimes, it does seem a little double work sometimes, but I love the part of working with the paper, so I won't give that up in the in-class part. But they do have the option of opening that up in their Google Classroom if they're at home in the virtual world and being able to see the same visuals and read that at whatever time they want to do. And they're completing work there too. I push into math classes and I push into ELA classes on both levels, 7th and 8th grade. And a lot of that's based on scheduling. Equals 2. 2 would be the answer, right?
Got a reminder in the chat from
Ms. Smith is great. She makes it really nice for us, right?
Yeah. Nicholas on that.
I coordinate with about 4 teachers, kind of working through and making sure that we are kind of sharing our time with the students. So I would say as you're new to this, give yourself a break. I've been teaching for a lot of years, but all this seems like a first year situation again for me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's all pretty much challenging. So, you're gonna come in, it's a new world. It's that whole flexibility thing. It's a good amount of movement, I think, that goes with it. I kind of like that part actually though. I think that it's kind of about rhythms and consistency and kind of getting the kids into the grooves. And so I think emotionally it's so much better for them. They're much happier. I've asked them before over the last couple months, would they prefer to go back virtual or remain in person, and it was resounding in person. And the one boy in particular who was not here today, but I'd asked him, why would you like that? And he was very clear to say, because he gets much more one-on-one attention and support, and he likes that. And then of course he loved being around his friends as well. So I'm looking for the positives within this crazy time, I don't want to seem too casual or glib about what we're doing here, but if you follow the protocols, we wear the masks, we separate, we hand sanitize on the way in, on the way out, and I've seen the kids grow, see that they're happy. I'm happy to be here in the in-person thing. So I think if you come to it with an open mind and try to do your best, knowing that nobody's really going to be there to judge you because it's all new for everybody, I think you'll relax and you'll remember the enjoyment of being in a classroom. That's good, J-Ren. Let's give J-Ren his applause, please. Yeah, there you go.